Scientists have discovered gigantic landforms under Antarctica, some as tall as the Eiffel Tower, and they've been actively carving deep channels into the ice floe above. So they discovered the largest volcanic regions as well. The largest volcanic regions on the Earth. Over 100 volcanoes. Wow, that's amazing, right? Basically, guys, there are volcanoes under the ice that are active, or they're becoming active, and they produce steam, right? Heat's coming out of them, huge pockets of free land that's free of ice under the ice above, right? The scientists are telling us what kind of animal life and plant life may exist in the caves beneath the ice. Very cool, right, guys? Wrong. There's a small problem with this mainstream story, and that this story is actually a cover-up. And guys, we have been knowing about all this information they're telling us for 70 years. When we first started to explore Antarctica, heck, there's a video of it. There's free land. Check it out.
Smooth shelf roughens, dark rocks called nunataks appear above the ice. Then rugged mountain ranges as far as the eye can see. Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white has turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh. The temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization. Aside from their headline...
So, why are they revealing this now to the sheeple, to the brainwashed public? Well, Antarctica is actually warming up. Along with the entire planet, heck, the whole solar system is being impacted by this. Many theories exist. For example, the sun is warming up. Now, why the sun is warming up? Maybe it's reached its old age. Perhaps it's Planet X returning. Whatever the case, guys. So the point is that as these volcanoes under the ice are melting, all the ice above, they're revealing castles and man-made structures such as pyramids that are so ridiculously tall that it would make your jaw drop. Guys, actually check out this video real quick, and don't you think we should be exploring these pyramids instead? Guys, I think we already have. guys, is that footage fake? Is that footage real? I believe that footage is real. That's definitely not CGI, and if it is, it's not used for any movie or any project that I can see. And for a few views, no one's gonna spend that much money to make that kind of video. I believe that to be real, covert, black ops, undeclassified. I mean, classified. It's just classified. We don't know anything about these pyramids, what's inside. And the reason they're making all this news public is we're gonna start seeing this. It's gonna be hard for them to hide the pyramids. It's gonna be very hard to hide the castles and the human man-made cities under the ice. But trust me, guys, whatever creatures that exist in Antarctica, I'm sure they've already removed all the giants, bones of fallen angels, and all of that's already been removed. I'm sure of that. And they're gonna present you a story. Hey, well, you know, guys, there used to actually be human beings here, and it's actually now out of Antarctica. We all originated there. Not Africa, actually. We all came from Antarctica because it used to be warm. Our calculations were wrong, and bullshit, and more bullshit. Because the Smithsonian is probably gonna take all the bones up. But how are you going to explain those pyramids? Well, you know, we were actually very advanced, and then I guess when we went out of Antarctica, we became really, really, really primitive. So you're probably going to hear some bullshit like that. But, guys, that is just bullshit. And the truth of the matter is, guys, the whistleblower, Corey, actually, when he worked or was part of the military, he had a visit to Antarctica where he was met by tall subterranean races that are trying to enlighten humans. That's what he claims. And they call this the lost city of Atlantis, some of them. Right, guys? And when he went there, he was briefed on extraterrestrials, but these beings were subterranean. These beings were very tall, much taller than us. They were like giants, not the fallen ones, more like the Nordic aliens, but they lived on Earth. I don't know if they're time travelers, or they've just lived here. The pre-Atlanteans, they just live underground. They lack pigmentation. You're gonna have to look up Corey Good for all that. I don't think I should be sharing his material because of his research. So go ahead and check him out. See if you guys resonate with that. I sure as hell do. So, guys, now real quick, as a recap, so what do we know? The world is warming up, the solar system is warming up, everything's starting to melt. The age of deception is here, but we're gonna see through the bullshit. People are waking up, and basically we're gonna see some stuff, guys, very soon. We're gonna know stuff. Hopefully we wake up even more. And there's one more thing I want to share, is Admiral Byrd's adventure, his voyage, called Project High Jump to Antarctica, where he claims, as big as the United States itself, there's a continent beyond the poles. Now, is he just referring to Antarctica, or is the world a little bit bigger than what we've been told? Going by the ISS, when it goes over the North Pole, it always closes. You can check that out. Maybe I'll use that footage some other day. But when he went there, he, in his diary, now the mainstream will say it's fake, he claimed to be greeted, just like Corey Good, by giant beings, right? And he was greeted. They were very peaceful and hospitable, and he saw mammoths and all these strange creatures that probably still exist in this honeycomb Earth. That's his theory, not the hollow Earth. And one more thing, guys, no flat Earth. That's just a psyop, black ops. Watch out for some of the YouTubers that are actually flat earthers, or just NSA. That's gonna be a different video. So, guys, go ahead and watch this Admiral Byrd video. It's not the whole clip. I'll leave a link. I just have a little snippet of what he has said to keep the video short. I hope you like this little discussion. So now you can see through the bullshit. Even if they find strange animals in the caves and plants, you're probably just gonna see lizards and little plants and all that. You're not gonna see anything that you really think you're gonna see. They're not gonna tell you what actually exists. Are there fallen angels sleeping under the ice? I don't know, guys. I don't know. So we will see what happens soon enough. That's all I have for right now. And this has been your host, the Vedic Knight. And I'm out, guys.
It's time for the Longines Chronoscope, a television journal of the important issues of the hour, brought to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. A presentation of the Longines Whitnor Watch Company, maker of Longines, the world's most honored watch, and Whitnor, distinguished companion to the world-honored Longines. Good evening, this is Frank Knight. May I introduce our co-editors for this edition of the Longines Chronoscope? Larry Lasser, CBS News correspondent, and Kenneth Crawford, National Affairs Editor of Newsweek magazine. Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
The North Pole used to be a no-man's land, but these are the days when, by buying a ticket on a commercial airliner, you can fly across the North Pole and drink a cocktail at the same time. Yet only 60 or more years ago, about 35 years ago, our guest tonight found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Well, Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
Well, Admiral,
Yeah.
would you say that since you've been to both the extremities of Earth, are these expeditions to such far-off places, are they getting easier because of modern techniques, or is danger still close at hand?
Well, it's a little risky, but nothing like it used to be with the old slow planes and the small cruising radius where we had to put down bases. We replaced the dog teams, and of course that was a big improvement. But now the planes go much faster, and they are safer, and they have a much bigger cruising radius. You haven't got the danger of a terribly heavy load.
Admiral, an expedition to which I believe you're the advisor is now en route. What is that expedition doing?
Well, that's the icebreaker Atka, and it's a reconnaissance expedition. It's going down to the South Pole area to make certain observations and to look for some bases. They will be back in April, and they will report back, and upon the information we get from that undertaking, we will base the bigger expedition that's to follow.
Is that very definitely planned, or is that...
That is being planned right now. So I'm willing to say to you that there will be a number of expeditions that will follow, I think, year after year, at the bottom of the world, because the government has really become interested.
Well, Admiral Byrd, I can understand, I think everybody can, the interest in the North Pole because it's so near our greatest challenger, Soviet Russia. But why this interest in the bottom of the world? Nobody living down there, is there?
No, it's pretty cold. There's only one permanent resident, that's the emperor penguin. The little ones live